Hello everyone, in this tutorial we'll be making a knitted bat plush in Blender and use Bambu Studio Slicer to make it printable. I'm your guide, Mr. H, and let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to add a subdivision surface to our cube to be the head of our model. Then we're going to duplicate it with Shift D, move it down with Z, and scale it just a bit. Then, using that body, we're going to press Shift D, Y to move it to the Y axis, G and Z to move it up, and this is going to be the arms. So let's just quickly add a mirror modifier. You might need to search it up if you don't find it. And we're going to mirror on the Y axis, and we're going to mirror it from the body. Now we can scale this down, and we can extend it by clicking on Face Select, extruding, and extrude, and then scale just a little bit, and let's move it more into the body. Now for his torso, what we're going to do is we're just going to extrude a little bit and scale down like so. Then what we can do with the arms, we can press Shift D, Z, move that to the bottom, scale it up, and we're gonna select that top face. Make sure you're in Face Select, move it up, and move the rest down, like so. Okay. And let's give him a unique... Let's make him unique with his... how he looks. So I think he'll just be like laying back. Now let's make him some wings. So we're just going to add a cube, add our subdivision surface, and we're also going to add a mirror modifier. So mirror, Y-axis, and select the body. So what I like to do for wings is we're just going to extrude, and we're going to make this thinner. Make sure it's attached to the body like so, and they're close. We're going to select these three faces, extrude, and scale on the Y-axis. And we're going to extrude here as well, just a bit, and here on top. And then what I like to do is we're going to add some detail. So we're going to select all these inside faces. We're going to press I, and we're just going to move them inwards, like so. So you can add some additions to what you like. You can play around with these. So if you want to move that to be a little sharper, that would probably be a good idea. So this part should probably be a little sharper. We have the idea. All right. So now I'm going to get the face or head, and I'm going to start making his ears. So for his ears, we're going to just go into edit mode, loop cut, and we're going to do a loop cut down the middle. We're going to move this up, and we're going to rotate it. Then, like usual, we're going to add a mirror modifier on the Y-axis. And what I'm going to do to add some detail, I'm going to select these two faces, press I, and move that inwards. So I do want to make this sharp for sure. Like so. Because bats do have big ears. Okay. Let's get his legs just a bit higher. And we might have to rotate it just a tiny bit and move it away from the body. All right. So let me add some more subdivisions to the head and one more to the body and one more to the arms just so they look a little smoother. Let's also play around with the shoulder and connect it to the body a little more, like so. Much better. Now let's start with the facial features. So let's give him a snout. Let's duplicate that snout, and we're going to be using that for the eyes as well. So mirror y-axis, select the head, and let's move these more inward. And let's see how we want to do this. So do I want his eyes to be small? We will test it out. Let me actually color him a little bit, just so I can see what the final result will be like. So we're gonna make, nope, we gotta add a new material. Yeah, we're gonna keep it like that. Okay. So I guess we're gonna give him a pink nose. And then we just gotta give him 2 fangs. Let's add a cube. It doesn't even have to be 2 fangs. I think 1 fang would be enough. And I'll show you what I mean. I'm gonna move this down. And I'm actually gonna press M and merge at center. Now we're gonna select this part. I'm gonna make like a diamond shape that we're gonna attach to his face. We just gotta play around with how that attaches. And I think that should work. Now let's add some more detail in the ears specifically. So we're gonna go to our modifiers. We're gonna make this not be visible in edit mode, so we have more cubes and we can work for object better. We're gonna go back to the materials tab, plus, and we're gonna select that pink color we made earlier. Now we're gonna select the inside of the ear and assign that to pink. I do like this, but I feel like no, I think how it was better. Yeah. Yeah, I do like this. Maybe let's move this a little forward. Okay. And let's play around with everything else. So I think our neck here is a little too big. So let's make that a little smaller. And what we can do is we can play around with this, with inwards a little bit. No, I think how it was perfect. All right. Maybe we can play with the wings. Let's select face. Maybe let's extrude here. I think maybe that was the issue. Okay. And maybe we need to play around with the snout more. We've got to make this a little bigger. Now that exposes this here that we can move around. Let's move this just a bit forward. Okay, I think that seems to be a little better. And let's also give him... No, not this. So let's duplicate his torso, and we're gonna make this flat. And we're gonna give him like some fur on his stomach, I guess. Let's make this a little bigger. Okay. And we're gonna color this maybe... We could leave it white. I think that might work. Also, I noticed another thing we can do. So we're gonna plus here, and we're gonna add gray. We're gonna select all these inside faces. Let's go to modifiers and make this blocky so it's easier to see. And let's select these and assign them as gray. Let's go back. Not what I was hoping for. Maybe the inside can be gray, but the outside remains the other color. And maybe we can just make that a little sharper. Rotate it a bit. And let's connect it a little more. And this part we could probably rotate a bit and connect it more to the body. Now our next step is adding our knitted pattern. So to add our knitted pattern, you're just gonna go to Chrome and you're gonna search up screws and circuits. Just ScrewsandCircuits.com. Gonna just click here, tutorials, and you're gonna left click this image to download our texture. Then you can go back to Blender. You can add the modifier we need to show our texture. So we're gonna just press search here, and we're gonna look for displace. We're gonna click on new, call this knitted. We're gonna change coordinates to UV and strength to 0.1, and then in our new texture section, we're gonna click open, and you're gonna find where you have your texture. So for me, I have it in my downloads because I just downloaded it. If you have too many downloads and you can't find it, you can just search up woven here, and we're gonna click on open. Now we're gonna go back to modifiers, and you just gotta increase the amount of faces, like so. For this part, I'm just gonna add a shade smooth, and I'm not gonna add any textures for that part. So for the legs, I will be adding a texture. Similar process as we did before. So local to UV, strength 2.1. Increase faces. And you might notice for some shapes that there is a lot of stretching. To fix that stretching, you're just going to go into edit mode. You're going to click A. Just select all, UV, Smart UV Project, island margin to 0.2, and unwrap. And it looks much better than it did before. Now we can do the arms. I'm gonna move this arm just there, and I'm gonna select these edges with Alt, select them all, and move them. Okay. Displace, knitted, UV, 0.1, increase faces. And like we did before, since it's more rectangular, okay, now we just need the head. Displace, knitted, UV, 0.1, increase faces, and scale down. You can choose 5 or 6. 5 will print the same as 6, but 6 will do like just a bit better. I'll keep it at 6 just so it looks nicer. So displace, UV, 0.1, increase faces. And I'm also going to click here, Smart UV Project, and the island margin is going to be saved. And there we have it. And now we can decide to do the wings. UV, 0.1, increase faces. Let's change this to that. And there we have it. Now, to make this printable, what we have to do is first, we need to export this as a printable file format. To do that, we're going to click on File here. To do that, we're going to click on File here, Export, STL. And then I'm going to put this in Downloads, and I'm going to name my STL knitted bat and export STL. Then if you have a Bambu Studio slicer, it will automatically assign any STL file to their program, so you can just left click it twice and Bambu Studio will start opening. So now that it's done loading, you're gonna have a screen like this, and your model is gonna be very small, so we're just gonna have to scale it up. And one more thing for good luck is we're gonna add supports, tree auto, and just click slice plate, and it'll start slicing our model to be 3D printable. And there we have it. Now you can just hit print plates, send it to your printer, and you're set. Just before you go, I would like to kindly ask if you can leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I really do appreciate you watching to the end of the video, and for me to continue doing content like this, I would really appreciate your feedback on getting better. Today, I just wanted to try out not having like any distractions and seeing if it does better or worse. And that is all for this tutorial. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one.